Shabbat Shalom, beautiful Pnei Or Chevra and extended family far and wide. Parashat B'Shallach. Just a few days ago, the full moon of Shabbat rose in the night sky. With it, deep within the trees, the saraf, the sap, the tree's inner life force, the inner fire, begins to rise. Soon the tight buds at the branch tips will swell and burst into flower. It is Tu B'Shvat, our New Year festival of the trees, celebrating the flowering, fruited trees and their liberation from the hard tightness of winter. Sap is rising. Freedom is on the move. In our Torah narrative, we're also at the fullness of the moon. For it is at the full moon of Nisan, of spring, that our birth as a people begins. Freedom is on the move. This morning, we go for it. We move. Fulfilling on Yosef's dying request to bring his bones out of Egypt, amidst the confusion and the chaos, Moshe, guided by wise elder woman Serach bat Asher, retrieves Yosef's bones. Reverentially, they are carried with us throughout our desert wanderings, side by side with the Ark of the Covenant. Yosef's bones in the unfolding of time will be reburied with honor in Shechem when we come home. Today, we are escaping from Mitzrayim. Young and old, elders, babies, herds, flocks, bundles, belongings, a mixed multitude of exultant and desperate refugees. We arrive at the shore of the Yam Suf, the Sea of Reeds, that deep, watery, marshy, swampgrass sea that is the classic impenetrable obstacle. So often we sing our Happy Mi Chamocha celebration song, drawn from Shirat HaYam, the Song of the Sea, in this Parsha, without lingering very long in the terror. The dust storm and din of the Egyptian chariots bearing down on us, we and our children facing death at the water's edge, the panic, danger, gripping and real. Only one way forward. Only one way towards freedom. Holding each other's hands, yes, with our terror, yet also with courageous song. We go forward. Like the womb of a mother giving birth, the doorways of our homes had been smeared with blood. Now, the reed sea opens like a birth canal. We pass through, born into a new reality, a new world that awaits us. What new lessons for us in all of this for this morning? This core story of our people and our Torah has generated a vast library of commentary. So, firstly, a word about miracles. We know there are miracles that happen once, and they are wow. Maybe something like that has happened for you in your life. When I first met my beloved father-in-law, he was already elderly, and I saw a small scar on the bridge of his nose. I figured it was the scar of a small melanoma spot that had been carefully removed from an old man's face. Later, I learned that it was the scar of an enemy bullet that grazed his nose when he was a young soldier in World War I. Some miracles are like that. There are also daily miracles we can't live without. Every day we need to get out of our Mitzrayim. How many times a day? Every day we must risk walking into the sea of obstacles. There's no way around. But it's so easy to get stuck. So hard to risk, hard to move through fear. So many midrashim about this. Ones famous to us are about Nachshon ben Aminadav, who walks right into the water until it is up to his ankles, knees, shoulders, chin, nose, and just when he thinks he'll drown, the waters part. So yes, we activate our inner Nachshon and we gotta walk in. Yet another midrash that for me resonates profoundly says, and by the way, yes, take that risky step. But the waters don't just part Cecil B. DeMille style with a dry superhighway to the other side. Don't think it's like that. Yes, the waters part. But understand this, only enough for each step. Step by step. Waters part, step by step. That feels right to me. Another midrash that adds a further dimension tells us there was not only one way through, not only one path. There were multiple pathways because it's not one path fits all. So we also have to be individual or small group trailblazers to have the courage to walk step by step and create new paths. That is how we fulfill our mission. We create new paths. We have to be ready for those moments. Look. Even the sea had to be ready. Even the sea had to be alert to fulfill the mission and purpose for which it was created. Riffing on powerful resonances in language between the narrative of Kriyat Yamsuf, the splitting of the Red Sea, and the story of creation back in Bereshit, great midrashists taught something extraordinary. Looking closely at the account of the miracle, Torah says that after parting the waters reverted to how they were before. But a curious word is used. The verse says, the sea returned to its strength. The rabbis point out that le'etano, to its strength, can also be read litna'o, to its agreement. Agreement? What agreement? A prerequisite, a deal that God made with the sea when the waters were created on the third day of creation. Remember how on the third day the waters divided into waters above and waters below? That was practice. God says to those waters, you're good at dividing now. This is your mission. Watch for it. When the children of Yisrael will get to a particular spot, be ready. Your job is to split so they can get through. We're like Nachshon. And we're also like the Yam Suf. Every neshama has a mission and a purpose. This is unique for each of us, a mission and a purpose that we each must fulfill, and no one can do it for us. We have to be ready, be alert, and watch for the moment, maybe moments, when that shows up. God, as it were, makes a deal with our neshama before we're born and tells us, there will be a moment in your life when you can do the greatest thing. And I created you for this. But you have to be ready to be more than you imagined you could be. If you're the sea, you're going to pull yourself together and make pathways of dry land. Whoever and whatever you are or think you are, look for that moment. It will be there for you. That is how the miraculous order opens. The moment arrives. We see it. We become it. There is so much more to be said about all this. It is a huge parsha. For now, perhaps we'll pause with these insights. We are Nachshon, stepping into the sea. We are the sea. Oh, and just in case you would like a little extra Tu B'Shvat connection, it seems that day 3 was a busy day in the creation department, as day 3 also brought us, yes, fruit trees. And no surprise, continuing to riff on the potent linguistic parallels between Kriyat Yam Suf and day 3 of creation, at least one midrash says, the walls of parted water featured not only just water, but were full of, yes, full of fruit trees. So this Shabbos, let's activate our brave inner Nachshon. heed the call of our miraculous, game-changing Yam Suf soul missions, and do these things with flair, with beauty, and flowering fruit. Shabbat Shalom. As always, if any of these teachings touch your life, circumstances in any way, when we call our one unified Aliyah to Torah, rise in any way you might wish and reach towards Torah. If you are group watching, now might be a good time to hit pause and share some holy conversations. We enter the gate of Torah. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, u'devar Adonai miYerushalayim.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, u'devar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah le'amo, Yisrael Yerushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah le'amo, Yisrael Yerushalayim.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlul Adonai iti, uneramema
Shemo Yadav.
Again, beautiful friends, as we prepare to call our one unified Aliyah to Torah, if any of the insights of this morning's teaching touch your life circumstances in any way, rise as you might wish and reach towards Torah.
ויעזור ויגן ויושיע לכל החוסים בו ונאמר אמן. הכל אהבו גודל אלוהינו ותנו כבוד לתורה, נא לעמוד לתורה.
Reach towards Torah.
ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו, ואתם הדבקים באדוני אלוהיכם חיים כולכם היום.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirvanu la'avodato, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah. Vayehi B'Shallach paro et ha'am, v'lo nacham Elohim derech eretz Pelishtim, ki karov hu, ki amar Elohim, pen yinachem ha'am birotam milchama, v'shavu Mitzrayma. Vayasev Elohim et ha'am derech hamidbar yam suf, v'chamushim alu b'nei Yisrael me'eretz Mitzrayim. Vayikach Moshe et atzmot Yosef imo, כי השביע בני ישראל לאמור, פקוד יפקוד אלוהים אתכם, והליתם את עצמותי מזה ידכם. And now it all happens. Paro sends the people. Elohim does not send us up the short coast road towards Pelishtim country, heavily fortified, saying lest the people would run into war and turn tail back to Mitzrayim. So Elohim sends us in the way that leads to the open wilderness, the route of the Sea of Reeds, and we leave Mitzrayim heavily laden. Moshe takes the bones of Yosef with him. Yosef had sworn the children of Israel, saying, Elohim will someday deliver you from this place. Take my bones with me. Vaydaber Yah el Moshe lemor. Yah says to Moshe, Daber el bnei Yisrael, say to us. Now, don't head directly into the desert. Take a slightly circuitous route around by Baal Tzafon, Nichachot Tachanu al HaYam, so you'll end up camping right by the sea. Ve'amar Paro livnei Yisrael nevuchim heim be'eretz ba'aretz sagar alehem hamidbar. Paro will see, then think that Yisrael is lost and wandering, and the wilderness is closed to them. V'chizakti et leiv Paro v'radaf achareihem, v'ikavda b'Paro v'chol chelo, v'yadu Mitzrayim ki ani Yah. And I will make Pharaoh's heart again once more heavily hard, and he will chase after you, and I will come down heavy on Pharaoh and his entire army, that Mitzrayim may know that I am Yah. Vayasu chen, and so it happens. Vayugad lemelech Mitzrayim ki varach ha'am, vayafech levav Paro. ועבדיו אל העם ויאמרו, מה זאת עשינו? כי שילחנו את ישראל מעבדינו. The word comes to Mitzrayim that the people are out there, and they say one to another, what have we done to let these people go out of our slave system? Vayasor et richbo et amo lakach imo. And Pharaoh organizes the army, taking 600 crack chariots, the cream of his army, the entire mobile cavalry with officers in charge of a highly organized military. Vaychazek Yah et lev Paro melech Mitzrayim. And the heart of Pharaoh is hardened yet again. Vayivdov acharei bnei Yisrael. And he chases after us, and we are moving along. Vayirdefu Mitzrayim achareim, vayasigu otam חונים על הים, כל סוס רכב פרעה ופרישיו, וחילו על פי החירות לפני בעל צפון, ופרעה הקריב. וייסעו בני ישראל את עיניהם, והנה מצרים נוסע אחריהם, ויראו מאוד, ויצעקו בני ישראל אל יה, and the army chases after us. Here we are, camped by the water. The entire horse cavalry comes moving. We lift up our eyes, and we see the dust cloud, and we hear the sound of the army approaching, and we are terrified, and we cry out to Yah, Vayomru el Moshe, saying to Moshe, הבלי אין קברים במצרים, לקחתנו למות במדבר, מה זאת עשית לנו להוציאנו ממצרים? Saying to Moshe, there's not enough graves in Mitzrayim. You had to take us out here to die in the desert. It's better for us to turn back and live as slaves than to die out here in the wilderness. ויואל משה אל העם, אל תיראו, התייצבו וראו את ישועת אדוני, אשר יעשה לכם היום, כי אשר ראיתם את מצרים היום, לא תוסיפו לראותם עוד עד עולם, ילחם לכם ואתם תחרישון. Moshe answers the people, don't be afraid. Stay strong. Stay the course. You will see the deliverance of Yah, which will be done for you today. Because you may see Mitzrayim today, but you'll never see them again. Because Yah is going to battle for you, and you will be okay. ויאמר יה למשה, מה תצעק אליי? דבר אל בני ישראל, וייסעו, ואתה הרם את מטך ונטה את ידך על הים ובקעהו, ויהיו בני ישראל בתוך הים ביבשה. Yah says to Moshe, why are you crying out to me? Speak to the people Yisrael. They should move forward now. You stretch out your staff in your hand over the waters that they may move, and Yisrael will move through on dry land. ואני הנני מחזק את לב פרעה ויבוא אחריהם ויכבדה בפרעה ובכל חילו ברכבו ובראשיו, and I am still hardening Pharaoh's heart. They will chase after you, and I will come down heavy on Pharaoh and the entire army. וידעו מצרים כי אני Yah, and Mitzrayim will know I, Yah, am the one who comes down on Pharaoh. וישא מלאך אלוהים ההולך לפני מחנה ישראל. The Malach of Elohim, who has been moving in front of Yisrael, spins around and comes into the back of the Yisrael camp, staying between us and Mitzrayim. ויהי ענן והחושך ויער את הלילה, and the cloud and darkness comes down and creates opaque blackness between the two camps that one can not approach the other. ויית משה את ידו על הים. Moshe stretches his hand over the waters. ויולך אדוני את הים ברוח קדים עזה כל הלילה. Yah sends a powerful east wind over the waters, moves the water and creates a dry seabed. The waters have been divided. ויהיו בני ישראל בתוך הים ביבשה. Yisrael, we move across the dry seabed with water on either side, to the left and to the right. וירדפו מצרים ויבואו אחריהם. Mitzrayim chases after us the entire army, the horse cavalry, El toch HaYam, into the midst of the seabed. Vahi bashmoret haboker, vayashkeif Yah et machane Mitzrayim bamud eish. And now, with the dawn, Yah appears in cloud and fire over the army of Mitzrayim, terrifies the entire camp of Mitzrayim, and suddenly the chariot wheels get stuck and it's hard for the chariots to move. Vayomer Mitzrayim anusa v'pnei Yisrael ki Yah nilachem lahem b'Mitzrayim. And suddenly Mitzrayim is terrified and says, we've got to flee from confronting Israel because Yah is making war against us. Vayomer Yah el Moshe, nete et yadcha al HaYam, v'yashuvu hamayim al Mitzrayim, al Richbo ve'al Parashat. Yah now says to Moshe, stretch out your hand over the waters, they will come back over Mitzrayim, over the entire army. Vayet Moshe et yado al HaYam, v'yashav HaYam lifnot boker le'etano. Umitzrayim nosim likrato vayna'er Yah et Mitzrayim betoch HaYam vayashuvu hamayim vaychasu et harechev et haparashim lechol chel paro haba'im achreihem bayom lo nishar bahem ad echad. And the waters return. It's too late for Mitzrayim. The most powerful, highly organized, mobile cavalry in the history of the world is completely drowned in the water. There is none left. But B'nai Yisrael, we move forward across the dry seabed, with water on our left and our right. Vayoshe Adonai bayomahu. In that day, on that moment, Yah delivers us from the hand of Mitzrayim. And we see Mitzrayim there, dead on the far edge of the sea. Vayar Yisrael et hayad hagdolah asher Asaya b'Mitzrayim vayiru ha'am et Yah vayaminu vad b'Yah uva Moshe avto. We see the incredible power that Yah has done for us on Mitzrayim. And we see that Yah is with us. And in that one moment, all of us have absolute trust and faith in Yah and in Moshe. Az yashir Moshe b'nei Yisrael et השיר הזאת לאדוני ויאמרו לאמור. And now Moshe and all Israel sings this song to Yah. Ashir ala Yah ki ga'o ga'ah. I sing to Yah who has brought deliverance. Sus v'ravo romo v'yam aziv zimrat Yah v'hili lishu'ah. My strength and my song is Yah, and my deliverance ze'eli v'anvehu Elohei avi varom menhu. This is my God, I affirm, the God of my ancestors that I raise high. Adonai ish milchama, Adonai shemo. Markevot paro, chelo yarabayam. Umivchar shalishav tuvu beyam sur. תהומות יחסיומו יורדו, במצולו כמו אבן. ימינך אדוני נדרי בכוח, ימינך אדוני תיראת אויב, וברוב גאונך תהרוס קומך. תשלח חרונך יאכלמו כקש, וברוח אפיך נערמו מים, נטבו כמו נוזלים, קפו תהומות בלב ים. אמר אויב ארדוף אשיג, אחלק שלל תמלאמו נפשי, אריק חרבי תורישמו ידי. נשבת ברוחך כי שמו ים, צללו כעופרת במים אדירים. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. נטית ימינך תבלעמו ארץ, נחית בחסדך עמזו גאלת, נהלת בצך אל נווה קדשך, שמו עמים ירגזון, חילך אז יושבי פלשת, אז נבהלו אלופי אדום, אלי מואב יוחזימו רעד, נמוגו כל יושבי כנען, תיפול עליהם אימתה ופחד, בגדול זרועך ירמו כאבן, עד יבור עמך אדוני, עד יבור עם זו קנית. תביאמו ותיטענו בהר נחלתך, בכל לשבתך פעלת אדוני, מקדש אדוני כוננו ידיך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ותיקח מרים הנביאה אחות אהרון את התוף בידה, ותצאנה כל הנשים אחריה בתופים ובמחולות. Now Miriam, the prophet, sister of Aharon, takes the drum in her hand, and all the women break out their drums which they had brought along, and they dance, and Miriam calls to them, Shiru ladonai ki goaga, sing to Yah who brings deliverance. Sus brachbo Rama HaYam. He has taken care of our enemies. Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
May the Holy One of Blessing, who has blessed all of our people, delivering us from oppression into freedom, bless everyone who has risen today to honor God, to honor Shabbos, to honor Torah, and reach towards Torah with the bracha that you need right now at this time. So the invitation is to bring into your heart the bracha, the prayer for yourself, for your life, for your family, for the world that you need right now. And for all these blessings and for all our hopes and dreams for the way the world can be, we say, Amen.
Amen.
At this time, it is also our custom to offer prayers for healing. We bring likewise to our hearts the image and name of all of those to whom we wish our healing prayers be sent this morning. This is also a time that you might wish to just hit pause to call out the names of those to whom you would wish that our healing prayers be transmitted at this time. So we call out the ancient words that Moshe Rabbeinu called out in prayer when Miriam, his sister and sister of Aharon, was stricken. And he prayed, Ana elna rafana la, please God, please heal her. And she was healed. Ana elna
Refana la, Anna elna, Refana la, Anna elna, Refana la, Anna elna, Refana la.
We pray for a healing of body and a healing of spirit, and for the speedy availability of the COVID vaccine for us and for everyone in this country and the world. B'mehera v'yameinu, speedily and in our day. We stay present as the scroll is lifted. As the scroll is lifted, you will see the beautiful, unique calligraphy of Shirat HaYam, the two walls of water, and the people passing through in the center.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לבני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. ישראל ואורייתא וקודשא בריחו חלו, ישראל ואורייתא קודשא בריחו חלו. תורה אורה, תורה אורה, הללויה. תורה אורה, תורה אורה, הללויה. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה וטובכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכנו וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש חדש ימינו חדש קדש יומנו
holding in our hearts our vision of the way the world can be. We charge the electromagnet of the possible future. Od Yavo Shalom.
Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Ulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Ulam. Salam. Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shalom. Salam. V'ne'ema ve'haya Adonai lemelech al kol ha'aretz b'yom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
So we hold in our hearts a vision of a perfected world, a world made whole and healed, a world of shalom, of wholeness, completion, perfection, fulfillment, and peace. We offer at this time a Kaddish Yatom, a mourner's Kaddish, inviting once again, if you are group watching, you can hit pause in just a moment and bring into your heart the name of whomever you say Kaddish for this morning, whether because you are in a time of mourning, or observing a yortzeit, or have taken upon yourself the custom of offering a Kaddish Yatom in behalf of all of those who have perished with no one to say mourner's Kaddish for them. Let's pause for a moment and bring forth their names. A mourner's Kaddish, Kaddish Yatom.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעולמה דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה ברכו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעולמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
May the maker of shalom in the highest of high places help each one of us to walk a path of shalom. Help our community walk a path of shalom. Help us become the shalom that we seek. And may there be wholeness, completion, perfection, fulfillment, and peace for us and for all of the people and creatures of this world. B'mehera b'yameinu.
Amen.
Today would be good. As has become our custom, we close our Torah service. Ein Keloheinu.
En Keloheinu, en Kadonenu, en Kemainu, en Kemoshienu, Micheloheinu, Michadonenu, Michemalgenu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malenu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malenu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom, beautiful friends.